Hey everyone, Dr. Anita here. Welcome to another interview with Women of Courage, Women of Destiny, moving from faith to fear. Wait a second, moving from fear to faith to freedom. Our overall intention is to support you in making this decision. And by now you know what this word means, to reach a definite conclusion inside yourself that it's time to really show up in your personal life and in your business, in your voice, in your skills, and your gifts and your talents, so that we can make a powerful impact within our own life and, of course, within our family, our friends, as well as in the community and in this world. Joining me today is one of my co-authors in the book by the same name, Women of Courage, Women of Destiny, Moving from Fear to Faith to Freedom. It's Debbie Brimble. Debbie is all the way in the United Kingdom. I love international women. She's got an amazing voice. It has taken so much time for us to get together, and today it's coming together beautifully. She looks great. She is perfect. I'm excited. She's excited.
And I am
here that we're going to have a fantastic conversation. So, Debbie, thank you so much, love, for making time out of your schedule to be here. I know it's late at night over there, and you're on this video summit with me. I so appreciate you.
That's okay. It's a pleasure being here. It's a pleasure being a part of this. It just feels so amazing. And yes, it's a bit late, but that's fine. I wouldn't miss it for the world.
I love it. She's going to come out here to the States soon so she can be a part of some stuff that I'm doing, and I plan to being out there and doing some stuff with her. So it's just going to be an amazing conversation. We actually met, how Debbie and I met, we were part of a women's mastermind and a program that we both fell in love with and really just connected very quickly. It was almost like it was coming together like, oh, where have you been?
Yeah. Beautiful souls reunited.
And then I invited her to be a part of the book. She said yes, and we're working on a couple of other projects. And the more I had to talk to her about her message of women in brilliance, I'll have her tell you a little bit more about that in a second. I knew she had to be a part of this book to really tell you what she knows about being courageous, moving from fear to faith to freedom. And so, Debbie, with that being said, would you do our audience a favor and introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit about you and why you do what you do so well.
Okay, thank you so much for that lovely introduction, Anita. And as I said, it's my pleasure to be a part of this. Right, so my name's Debbie Brimble, and I have been in an IT role for over 15 years. My background's all IT. I studied IT, and I decided I enjoyed the personal growth side of developing staff more than anything else. That was my passion. That's what I've always wanted to do. And at the end of the day, when I was tasked with identifying staff that were to be made redundant, I just couldn't do that. And that was one of the first things that made me realize this isn't for me. I need personal growth. That is where my heart lies. So I stepped away from that and I started my own life coaching practice. And gosh, that's about 8 years ago now. Time surely flies. Wow. And 8 years ago, I started to do coaching in tandem with my IT role as well. And after having my little boy 3 years ago, I decided enough's enough. This is my time to be courageous and step out and own my brilliance. So I'm all about embracing your true brilliance and being who you deserve to be, who you desire to be. And that's why I am here today, to share my story with you, my message.
Yeah. I love it. So thank you so much for sharing you. So, I'm going to ask you the same questions I've asked everyone else, and of course we'll have a dialogue along those lines.
Okay.
So the very first question is, how do you define fear? How do you define
fear? As far as I'm concerned, fear is all about, I see as a boulder, a huge boulder standing in our path to achieving our brilliance, because we're all brilliant human beings at the end of the day. We entered this earth as a brilliant human being. However, over time that changes. And as a baby, we have no fears. And looking at my little boy grow, you can see fears develop over time. So it's about removing that boulder, and helping to remove the fear that we have.
It's interesting. Someone else on our telesummit said the same thing. They used the word is an obstacle to overcome. And how we overcome it is by going deep within ourselves. And you can hear more about her particular conversation. You'll know it when you hear it, because that's exactly what she said. And so one of the things that I have noticed, I'm sure you see this in your practice as well, is that we as women are so gifted and so talented, but unfortunately at times we allow this boulder of fear to prevent us from really showing up. So in your practice, if you can identify the top 3 things that prevents a woman from really showing up in her brilliance, what would those things be and why?
Number 1, without a doubt, is not being accepted.
What do you mean?
As women, we hold ourselves back a hell of a lot because we think that we're not going to be accepted in certain situations, in certain groups, in certain cultures, right. And in certain environments at work as well. And that has always come through in, I would say, 70 to 80% of my clients in the last 5 years that's been their main concern and cause for contacting me.
Yeah.
So that's number 1.
That's number 2.
Number 2 is not knowing where to go next, not knowing where to start, not knowing where to find support or help, just not knowing. They know they want something different, but they just have no idea what it is they want.
It's interesting you should say that, because I don't know if I thought of it that way. Maybe that's because that's not a lot of what my clients, they know where they want to go from my perspective, but they're not sure on how to get there. So that causes them to fall back. But to not even know where to go, that's even like more detrimental to your overall soul and your brilliance.
Yes, it definitely is. And a lot of the work I do with clients is actually tapping into their values, their beliefs, because a lot of clients that I've come into contact with, they've forgotten their own values, their core values and what they believe in. They've taken on the values of their families, the values of the wider community, the values of their work environment, the values of society, and they become lost in who they really are. So, and that is why I do what I do, because I was that person once, and trying to fit in and forgetting who I was. So those are so important.
I think that's worldwide, because there's so many women, now that you've said it that way, who can get so caught up in doing, in the activity, that we end up thinking our value is connected to what we do. I am a perfect example of that, and I had to go through a lot of losses, if you will, in order to come back to a new awareness. Because what you said so beautifully is that we are, I'm going to say it this way, we're spiritual beings in a human body, having a human experience that detracts us or distracts us or pulls us away from the truth of our brilliance, of our spiritual truth. And then what happens is we get so caught up in all this other noise, is what I call it.
It's noise.
It's a lot of noise and chaos, and it creates drama. That we can't show up in the talents and gifts that we are, whatever kind of situation it is. So I totally agree with you. So what's the third one?
The third is, it's almost intertwined with the first 2. It's more about control. They feel that they have no control in their lives anymore, and they want to regain control. But how do you regain control when you feel disempowered?
That's an interesting one, because you're the first one to say that, so I love that you're saying something that's
good.
You also said that, so I'm like, oh, that's good. So how do you describe and define control, and why does this need to be changed in a woman, or gained back, however?
Control is all about being on a certain path, knowing what you're doing. So having your own, I'm a processes person. So it's all about looking at your own internal process. You know where you're going, you know how to do it, and what you need to do, what needs to be in place. However, you've got a lot of external factors impacting that. So, you might decide that I want to become a business person, be self-employed, and out of the blue, someone else comes in from your family possibly and automatically says, no, that can't happen because you've got all the reasons why it's not possible to do that. So the control is almost being pushed to one side because of the external person's impact on your life.
I love that. And see, I call it, it's funny because I don't use the word control. That's not a word that I typically would use, but you're talking about personal power. This internal power that you have to make the decisions reach a definite conclusion.
Exactly.
To say, this is me, this is my life, this is who I am, this is what I want. And if you allow this to be true, it'll be a benefit for everybody around us. So I just love that. Yeah.
Acceptance, definitely. We need to accept who we are truly on the inside before anyone else can accept us for who we are.
Absolutely. Love it. Love it. So now let's go a little bit deeper. Let's start talking about this thing called fear. How do you define fear? What is it?
Right. Fear is something that we all go through. Now that's what I just described to you about the boulder, having the boulder in our path. And
I'm sorry, I meant to say, we talk about fear. Let's talk about faith. That's what I wanted to say.
Okay.
We talk about faith. I'm glad you said that. I'm like, wait, that's not what I meant. I meant to ask the question. Let's talk about deeper. Let's talk about faith. What is faith? Why is it faith?
Right. Faith. Now, moving on from fear, faith helps you to move forward. And I use the word moving forward a hell of a lot. So excuse me from now. Faith for me on a personal level is all about God first, me second. So I have faith in him first and then faith in myself.
Yes.
And gosh, I'm getting goosebumps all over. This is truly coming from deep within. I look at spirituality quite seriously, and all the work that I do is about connecting with our inner souls at the end of the day. Because if we don't embrace who we truly are, and accept who we are and show up in an authentic way on a daily basis, how are we going to expect anybody else to really know us, appreciate us, trust us, or love us? So faith for me is having an unapologetic belief in that man upstairs and that he's got our back 100% of the time, all the bloody time. Then in myself second. I believe that I can achieve anything I set out to achieve, and the only person that will be holding me back is me at the end of the day. Because if I'm disempowered, I've allowed someone to come in and do that to me.
Yes, that's right. It's interesting. I agree with you 1,000% and beyond. When I look at, I use the word God, whether you choose to use spirit, soul, wisdom,
it's God for me too. Yeah.
But the word spirit is very close to my heart, because the word spirit means breath of life. So how do you allow the breath of life of God to move in you and through you to the point that you are living fully and completely in your gifts, your talents, and your ability? And then when you have faith in God who gives you life, and you have faith in yourself that can live that life, that you can actually experience it and have that life, then things start to change. And it took me a while to actually learn it, because there's a huge difference between what you know in your head, information, and what you absolutely know in your heart that becomes a truth. And when you're spiritually connected and you have faith, that's more at the truth heart level, wouldn't you say?
Exactly. Definitely. And as I said to you earlier, I work with, connecting with your true inner souls, who it is you want to be, what your true desires are, because everybody, wants to be a millionaire, wants to do this, wants to have a lovely car, etc. But deep down on the core, the core deep inside, what is it we truly want? We want to be a part of something bigger than us. We want to, how many people want to save this planet that we live in? How many people?
It's such an amazing life that we can live.
Exactly.
And desire to have it. You just don't know how to do it, like you were saying earlier.
Yeah, we just don't know how. So that's why I do what I do, to help so many to be able to identify what it is they truly want to do on this planet whilst we are here, because we're not here forever. So what is it? What is the legacy we want to leave behind at the end of the day?
It's so funny. I was just on a call and you just said the same thing I said. I'm like, listen, there comes a point where you realize you don't have much time. You don't know how much longer you're going to be. I plan on being here for a long time, but you really don't know. So you might as well live the best life that you possibly can, and make an impact in other people's lives. Don't take all the time. Just give, and that just changes how we experience life to the fullest. All right, so now let's talk about my favorite subject. This is something that's really near and dear to my heart. I didn't realize how much it was important to me until I faced with some challenges myself. And now it's become a part of my intention and goals and my business. Is what is it, freedom? And why is freedom so necessary for a woman specifically?
Freedom. Now, I'm going to put this in the simplest possible terms as I would use any day, every single day. Freedom is all about being who we want to be, doing what we want to do, when we want to do it, with whomever we bloody please, and enjoying our lives and living our lives to the fullest. You know, just living a life of purpose, feeling that freedom inside. Notice I talk about the inside a lot.
Because it starts from the inside out.
Inside
out.
So that's what it is for me.
Freedom. My thing is, when you become free, you allow other people to be free. Pure and simple. It's so simple, but we make it so complicated. It's like, stop it. Stop doing that.
That's the thing. I have one of my clients, I don't know where it came from, but in one of our sessions, I must have said, tell me about the big you. Who is the big me? And that's what she uses every day now. She goes to, her office, she has our sessions, and she always says to me, the big me wants to do it this way. And that's how I feel courageous. The big me is, that full of strength, full of power. I can do anything. I'm free. And whenever she says that, it fills my heart completely.
I'm going to have to steal that. Yeah, I like that.
You can have it.
This today.
Exactly.
I'm expanded and expressed to the point that, I'm a big ham anyways. Those who know me, really know me. I'm a big ham. This week I'm not, but I am. So the big me says, let's go there.
Yeah, and we can go there, so we're going.
I love it. So, ladies and gentlemen, you can see that Debbie brings such life and such joy. I mean, literally, my cheeks are hurting right now because she just thinks,
no. Sorry, it's me. I just can't stop smiling. This is
for a minute. But you can see from our conversation that she wants to support you in making this decision to really be big and show up in every aspect of your life and in your business as well, especially in your business. That it's time this year, 2017, is calling us women to step into our bigger selves. I really do like that. I like that a lot.
Yes, I love it. And hearing you say it, I love it even more.
I'm like, okay, sorry, but I'm going to blast that one out there.
Keep using it.
You should. This is good. I'm on fire right now. Like, that's on.
I know. I've got the energy flowing every inch of my body.
I love it. So, stay tuned because our book is coming out in March of this year, Women of Courage, Women of Destiny, Moving from Fear to Faith to Freedom, because we want you to hear our stories and our strategies to help you be big in your personal life as well as in your business. Until then, thank you so much for being a part of this video. Make sure you share it with other women. We want to inspire women around the world. Until then, see our limited success. Thanks a lot, Debbie, for being with me.
You're welcome, and thank you.
Loved it. Bye, everybody.
Bye.